What up, y'all? What up? What up? Your boy JD. I know this is unlikely or unusual, rather, for the channel. Welcome to the channel. The vision is real. I'm gonna start to do some live reactions during the daytime. We're gonna call these, um, day live reactions, live daytime reactions, where I try to pull up during the daytime. We're gonna do it once in a while now, but as time goes on, we're gonna get start to do it more consistently. As things drop and as different things in pop culture and media gets released, we'll try to react to it as quickly as possible. I personally like to let kind of things like this, like as you see on the screen, we're going to talk about Ryan Clark today, as I saw on the thumbnail. We're going to talk about the soldier, Ryan Clark, today. And this has been, I like to let things breathe for a little while before I react to it. So it's been about a week, maybe a little bit under or a little bit over a week since he was fired and let go from ESPN. So I wanted to give my reaction on this, and I'm always good for the different take. That's the theme of the channel. I wanted to give a different take, because things like this, it's all relative. I mean, at the end of the day, these are really high paying jobs, right? Obviously Ryan Clark had a high paying job with ESPN, but it's still a job and it's all relative. So I like to give my take based on just regular life, regular people, you know what I'm saying? Regular, everyday corporate America. Corporate America is corporate America. He worked for ESPN, which is a Disney owned company, which is a corporate company. So, things like this have a trickle down effect, and it happens, things like this happen, for everybody. Everybody, what's that saying? People get fired every day, B, from paid in full. So yeah, I wanted to break it down. I won't be long on this live, but I did want to go through this real quick and kind of give my take on different segments of it. I don't know if we'll get through the whole thing, but we'll definitely break it down. So let's get into it. Shout out to D from the Delomio show. In the middle of the day, he already like turning it up. Oh, you can't hear me? Ooh. Let's pause it. Let me see. Let me see. Let me know where you can hear me, D. 1 second. Let's do this. Ooh, no. See, D holding me down, man. Holding me down. D is always holding me down, you know. So, oh, you can't hear the video. Okay, cool. Let me see. 1 second. All right, so let's do this. StreamYard has this weird thing where you have to like, if I'm trying to share my screen, I'm trying to share my screen. Why do I got to hit share screen? And then, I have to toggle the audio if I want to hear the audio. Like, that's so like, okay. Also share audio. Let's do this. Yes. Add to the stage. All right, you should be able to hear it in a minute. Sorry, y'all. All right, so like I was saying, this is the Ryan Clark firing at ESPN. We're gonna break it down. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna get through the whole thing today, but I just kind of wanted to kind of give my take on his firing with ESPN, because like I said, everything is relative. It's all relative, so everything has a trickle down effect. And I'm always kind of giving my take for the younger people coming up behind me who get in these spaces, because let's get into it. Let's just get into it, and I'll let you know what I think about Mr. Ryan Clark.
It's a serious, serious situation.
I think, I'm definitely okay, but I feel for the other people who are going through this with me. Carl Ravage been there 33 years.
And sorry ahead of time for the buffering. We working on that on my end. Literally, we working on that right now.
Charles Davis, one of the best men in the business, along with best analyst.
And if it starts buffering too
Bart
much,
Scott, Cam Newton, Tom Pelissero, and like countless other behind the scenes people. And you think, what I learned about ESPN is
so just before we go on, so there was a group of people who got fired from ESPN. It was white people and black people who got fired from ESPN. It wasn't just a bunch of black folk. Let's just put that out there now.
so many people who worked there grew up close to ESPN.
It's buffering.
So they grew up with a dream of being there and being able to work behind the scenes and create these stories and tell this story. And now their job is gone, right? What I'm dealing with is, in truth, a first world problem. But there's some people who are truly counting on what ESPN was going to do for them to feed their family. And
as us all, a job is a job.
So my thoughts and my prayers are with them as well.
I think the big question is, did you see it coming? Could you take us inside that moment?
Yes and no. I'm upset with myself from this perspective. There were signs, but I truly thought for the first time in my life, I worked so hard at something. I was so good at something. Everybody acknowledged that that they couldn't fire me, that they wouldn't fire me. That a company who's going to have.
All right, young people, kids coming up, seniors in high school, college, getting into corporate America. All my elder Gen Z, everybody's expendable in corporate America. You can get fired at any given time. Majority of us work in right to work states. Unless you within a contract or you within an equity contract, anybody can get fired at any given time. You're always expendable, no matter how good you are. It's always going to come down to the bottom line, and the bottom line is the money. Is the money making sense? Do the dollars and cents add up? So for Ryan to be an OG and a vet, for him to feel that comfortable is kind of like surprising.
Of the Super Bowl this year, who truly wants to put their best foot forward to the entire world and have the best people talking about football, wouldn't fire, in my opinion, this is my opinion, and it seems to be the opinion of many others, the best football analyst in the world. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that, and that's my fault. This offseason, our piece on Monday Night Football with Greg Brooks won an award, a diversity award. And our showrunner and our director and our producer were so excited, and it was like, PR is going to post it. And it never happened. And eventually I just posted it myself. And then PR reached out like, oh, I'm so sorry that we missed it, but the Emmys are coming up and we'll post it afterwards. And I just remember sending a text to one of the people I work with, and I said, they're not going to post that. They don't care. A company that posts about, cool things like spelling bees and post about the family feuds and all of these things, didn't care about an actual segment on our show about a young man like Greg. Didn't care about that enough because of me to use it.
Was that ever addressed?
No, it was never addressed. Family Feud. Yeah. They have an NFL Live Family Feud, a show that I've been a part of, that I won a sports Emmy for being a part of, that's won 2 Emmys in a row, because of the core of Laura Rutledge, Marcus Spears, Dan Orlowski, Mina Kimes, and Ryan Clark. You go do Family Feud and
started to take things too personal there. started to feel too comfortable. You know, I think Anton Daniel said earlier, nobody's bigger than the program. You're never bigger than the program in the workplace. All that stuff he's mentioning, that was for the bigger goal and the bigger cause of ESPN. You know, that had nothing
Marcus
to
and
do
I
with
aren't
Ryan.
there, but Marcus was asked. And when I reached out to the people who were involved, they just said, one said, we never asked for you. Another said, these two people were already on Pat's show, and that's why you and Marcus weren't on. But Marcus was asked, I wasn't. So there were just signs throughout the season, like even now, if you look at everything for the Super Bowl year, I'm not on any of that. A guy that's supposed to be a part of Monday Night Football, a man that's supposed to be a part of NFL Live, a man that's a huge part of First Take, was a part of building Get Up.
Started to take it too personal.
So to me, the signs were always there. And I called, man.
He started to take it too personal. One of the things that I know we all got to go through this. It's just that, like I said, Ryan's an OG. He's a little older, so he should have known better. One of the things that I did that happened to me in my mid-20s, I ran into some corporate issues in my mid-20s. And after that particular issue with that particular company, I never took, the workplace personal ever again. For me, it was always, business. It was about the company. It was about the bottom line. It was about me obviously getting along and being a good team player. I made working in the workplace very much for anybody that's familiar with the Lord Varys character in Game of Thrones. I started to move in the workplace in corporate America with that same type of idea of Lord Varys. Lord Varys wasn't about any one family, any one thing, any one person. He was about the realm. So when I work for a company, I just make whatever I'm doing about the company. It's not about me. It's not about any one of us. It's about what's best for the company, the greater good of the company. So it seems like I said, everybody got to go through this. You usually go through it when you're much younger. So the fact that Ryan, is kind of going through this now, being an OG, that's what's surprising to me because, the big homie should know better.
I called executives. I called decision makers. I called bosses. Is my schedule changing? What's it look like? And it was never a definitive answer. But I think it was never a definitive answer because this was always the plan.
Yeah. And you're not a shy dude. Like you said, I know you ain't just sitting in the shadows with your head down. You're going to address situations. But if it's not performance-based, what's it based off of?
Well, to address the head down thing, what makes me a little bit sad about myself is I did adjust who I was to try to keep my job. I did have meetings with people and say, okay, what is...
If you got to do that, you already starting off on the wrong footing with your company or team. Like you put yourself ahead in front of the program.
Need for me, not the analyst. The analyst he was damn good.
Yeah, he's
right?
goodness.
If you care about the person.
Yeah, I'll say that Ryan, in my opinion, Ryan Clark is a fantastic football analyst. He's a fantastic football analyst. Obviously clean cut, good brother on air. When it comes to football analysis, he's great.
That's on TV. What is it you need from me? Because I want to do that. I want to build a relationship. I want to involve you in the things I'm doing. Man, like this show, for 3 years, bro, we never shied away from any topic. Right. We never shied away from tackling anything.
This is your personal platform, though.
Because I knew I couldn't have no beef. I knew I couldn't respond to disrespect, right? I knew, for lack of a better word, I couldn't be too black. What makes me sad is, even in trying to adjust to be at least more of what certain people wanted, they still fired me. And so I think that that is difficult. I think it's about some of who I am, and it's about certain executives not connecting to that,
Maybe. Happens.
not supporting that, not wanting to champion that, not wanting to give that the vast platform that is ESPN.
Nobody's bigger than the
And
program.
I think they utilized it to make an example of me.
But RC, you call some people to figure out what you
Nobody's bigger than the program, young people.
can do. Did anybody give you a heads up?
Yeah, I gotten some heads up. I mean, summer ago, Stephen A. sat with me, took me to lunch in Los Angeles. And he told me, he said, you know, there's a particular executive.
This part is about to piss. This would piss me off the most about this entire interview.
That doesn't like you. No, let me be honest. I have been hearing this for years.
Everybody knows who Stephen A. is. Stephen A. has reached the pinnacle of sports analyst, sports broadcasting over there. $100 million contract. I love Stephen A. I think he's great for that industry. I think he's great for ESPN. I think he's great for Disney. And I think he's great for the culture. Why would Ryan do this? Like, why would you get on a public platform and say this about him? He's still got to work there, bro. Like, why would you throw him up? This is what we call in life, but especially in corporate America. Why would you throw him under the bus like that? He's still got to work with those folks. Now those folks is like, oh, word, that's what you're doing. Even if there's like if companies and businesses, they know, like, workers and coworkers and teammates talk amongst one another. But why, Ryan, why would you get on a public platform and throw Stephen A. under the bus like that when he was looking out? He was looking out for you. At some point, certain things got to go back to, round the way rules, you know what I'm saying? Culture rules. It's like, why would you say that on a public platform? Why would you do that to him? Like, I don't know if Ryan meant to do this or he was just in the heat of a conversation, but this was not a good look. This was like the single worst thing I took away from this interview. And I really hope this don't affect Stephen A. in any kind of way possible. Ryan, this was like a bad look, bro. You know better. This, like I said, it's not surprising that he got fired. Everybody gets fired at some point in their life. But a lot of what Ryan is talking about is like, bro, you are OG. Like, I think me and Ryan might be the same age. I think he might be 46. So it's like, bro, you know how the game go. So it's he made a lot of mistakes, and he had a lot of entitlements that surprised me. But him throwing Stephen A. under the bus, the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It had gotten to me so many times. And so having that dinner or that lunch with Stephen A. was just confirmation of it. He's like, you need to go set a meeting.
I can't believe he threw Stephen A.
So many times when I heard about this particular person, it was he doesn't like you or he's said this negatively. So I'd heard it a ton of times. And I got a call this offseason from someone within the building. And, they said the way I stand up for our community is commendable.
Here we go.
Right? That they respected.
Making it about race.
In my position, I had a passion for that.
Playing in these people's
But they
face.
also said it had created enemies for me at the executive level. It had created opposition.
Of course it did.
And that there were people within that building that were going to stand on the table for me. And it was such a shock because I thought to myself, in the most important year in ESPN football,
right?
You gotta stand on the table for me.
Like for you see what I mean?
Like
He
there's
was
somebody
bigger than the
that
program.
needs to be convinced that our NFL coverage is elevated when I'm on TV. Like there's a person that knows football. There's a person that knows TV that thinks that 13 years in the NFL, Super Bowl, Pro Bowler,
right?
A captain,
yeah,
experience from being an undrafted free agent to trying to make the team to being one of the leaders in the locker room. 12 years of doing this, you got to convince that person that I should be doing TV.
Yeah.
And what I learned was it wasn't about who I was in in front of the camera as it pertained to football. It was about what I represented every time I got in front of that camera. And that is,
I don't know how many times I got to say this. I'll talk about it on my own platform. Like in the workplace, in corporate America, it's not so much about what you know. It's very much about who you know. Do I get along with these people? Am I a good team member? Do I got the greater good and the greater cause for the company at mind? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, man, I know this is like a saying nowadays, but it's true. Nobody's bigger than the program. Ryan started feeling himself, man. He started thinking like, he was the brand when it was really ESPN, man. Like, you got to have that Lord Varys from Game of Thrones approach when in corporate America. Lord Varys was about the realm, and Ryan started to feel himself, man.
something that I don't believe you truly can combat.
When it's all said and done, that's the least anyone can do. I mean, you stand up and stand on, the shoulders of, or for so many people. Like what you do, bruh, is unbelievable. So for someone to stand up for you, I think that's the minimum anyone can do. But so also, I want to put this to bed because a lot of people have been having their takes about Stephen A. And you mentioned Stephen A. Is there anything Stephen A. could have done to make this go away?
No.
Stephen A. is an employee like everybody
Stephen
else
A.,
there.
with all of his power, with all of his influence, is
He gets a salary.
not a true decision maker at ESPN. That's not his job title, right? That's not in the repertoire of what he's asked.
He's an
to
employee.
do. And we get it so many times, right? And I get it all.
He's an employee. Like Stephen A. is an employee just like he was. It's just that Stephen A. made more money.
The time. Why do you ride for him so much? Like, why don't you come for him
Stephen A.
when
is
he
dope.
said
Stephen A. is dope.
these
That's
things?
why.
And I've said it on the show. I call him. I text him.
Again, sorry about the buffering, y'all. We working on that.
I tell him when I think he's doing too much. And I have the conversations with him all the time. But when this company was treating me in a way that, at least in my opinion, was unfair as it pertains to what I'd accomplished, he was the first person to go, I want you.
Of course. Stephen A. a
If
real
they're
one.
going to take you off of
Love Stephen A.
this or that, don't worry about it. You'll get your TV time on my show. Thursday and Friday will be Ryan Clark's days.
What's up?
That will never be forgotten by me.
Mhm.
I will be forever grateful for that. That in a space that I was sort of being told, at least being who you are
Buffering killed.
is going to make you lose certain things
no,
because you aren't these people that we covet, these people that we're comfortable with, these people that we take pictures with and put our arms around and show the world that we support them. I'll do that for you. And the loyalty he's shown me, the love he's shown me,
Of course.
the
Stephen A.
true hurt and pain in his
Stephen A. If you
voice.
see this,
When
I
he
salute
called
you, brother.
me
I love
around
you.
4 o'clock Central Time on Monday, I will never
Channing
forget
Crowder
that.
is so
We
funny,
are
man.
forever friends.
You talking about 4 Central on Monday. What happened on Monday? Because you got, bro, you got 5-minute shifts. Who gets fired halfway through that job?
Hey, Jack, crazy, right?
Fireman shift is crazy.
Hey,
Where'd the other box go?
hey, Smokey was trying to build club houses. You know what I'm saying? He was still in boxes.
He was still in box.
Yeah, he
Hey,
got
then
fired
my
like
box
I
disappeared.
think while on air.
You know,
The box went away.
hey, they was
Came
like,
back
damn.
commercial. I
Wild.
said, then where's he go?
But I think most firings, like, young people, most firings, it comes when you least expect it. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Like, you never gonna see it. You're never gonna see it coming. You know what I'm saying? So It's just when our perception is skewed when it's somebody like, this popular on these bigger platforms. But we always got to keep in mind these people are employees. They're employees just like you. They just so happen to make more money, most likely.
Yeah. So let me put this to bed. I wasn't laid off.
Well, you was
I
fired.
was fired.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? They're using layoffs as a cover and a camouflage for what they already intended
PR.
on doing.
No problem.
But there
with
was no
that.
cause for it. Right? So because there was no cause for it, you couldn't just fire me. So you had to wait to the layoff so you could camouflage it and veil it, right? But here's the other thing.
They can do whatever they want.
If I was laid off, like everybody else, they came out on Tuesday. Mine came out on Friday. I get the call. I get a text from our showrunner that tells me to call my boss. I call my boss in the break, tells me they're letting me go.
Okay.
He said this is a very awkward call. This is a hard call. I could hear how hard it was for him. And if anybody was going to call me that was anywhere on the executive level, whether low or high, he's the person.
So you had some allies.
The way he's fought for me and rode for me.
Some allies.
And he said, our friends, jokingly, at Outkick had the story, and we're going to leak it. Let me tell you why I know I was fired. Because during the season, after some of the Kyron Lacey news broke, there were people on our network along with me that said something about it. Both of those people apologized, as did I. I didn't want to, right? I was told I couldn't come to work if I didn't. And at that point, I said, well, I can't come to work tomorrow because I don't believe I did anything wrong. Some conversations happened and we got to that point. And Outkick wrote an article.
Another mistake.
All the people that apologized. Two very prominent faces.
That was another mistake, y'all. Young people, if you don't own the company, you're an employee. If your employer is asking something of you, you do it. That's what they're paying you for. This is what happens when you think you're bigger than the program. No matter how good of a talent you are, you're still an employee. It's not ESP Ryan, it's ESPN. It's not Diz Ryan, it's Disney. When your employer asks you to do something, you do it.
At ESPN. And they praised them for who they were and how they brought this thing back around. And they bashed me. Talked about how negative I was and spoke about me in such a nasty way. And I sent an email at that time to Burke Magnus and Dave Roberts, who were working. Because we were on an email talking about how we were going to handle it. And I was very poignant in saying, you have to watch who you listen to about me. There's certain people who want to paint
defend
me as a certain
themselves.
thing. Certain
Or to
people
defend
who
themselves in the workplace.
My voice. Certain people who, no matter what I do, with all
never
the great
good.
I've done, they've never mentioned that. But in this case, there are three people who are very important to this network, who all did the same thing, who all responded in the same way. And only one of us was vilified. And only one of us was a black man.
Nah, bro, that wasn't the reason.
And
they
so
hired you.
How poignant, how purposeful is it to make sure that that's the exact same publication that gets the story that I'm going to be fired? Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to praise ESPN. They're going to pump ESPN up for getting rid of the person
Here we go with the black
stands
stuff.
up for the community. And they're going to say that these are all the reasons why I didn't belong on TV in the first place. So let's garner as much positive publicity as we can early before all of these people that you've seen come out on my behalf and say I was the best in the world at the job and I deserved better. One, I didn't deserve to be laid off or fired. It ain't about money. Two, I didn't deserve to be handled that way.
Maybe.
So
let's
get ahead of it.
They can still do
whatever
whatever they want.
Get ahead of it by leaking it to someone who they know hated me.
I would say, bro, how could this be that thought out when they just asked
you? I mean, you're still an employee, man. This fair ain't got nothing to do with it.
If we could all, as a crew, come on First Take in August, that don't make no sense. When I saw it and how they did it and how outspoken you are about the community and how, like you're talking Some people don't agree with your stances and don't like that you were that open on their platforms.
Should have kept it about football.
To me, it seemed like it was almost like buck breaking.
No, now he
Slavery
tripping.
term.
You know, where
Now
you're
Chet
the outspoken one,
tripping.
you're alpha. Let's
Come
embarrass
on,
him so everybody else gets in line.
Are we serious right
So
now?
nobody else talks crazy to us anymore, goes through emails or whatever. Like, no, let's teach him a lesson.
Buck breaking. They hired you. You on national TV, making all that money, and we oh my God, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We gotta stop with the race baiting. We gotta stop with the race stuff. We gotta stop with the victim stuff, like buck breaking. Oh,
Embarrass him on national TV so that they all line up.
this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Take.
I think that could be part of it, you know. Like, I also know that
This is why you need good friends around you. You made a good point, D, this past weekend. You know, I'm not going to tell you what you want to
this
hear.
is
I'm going
a
to tell you what's right.
private company.
Thank you.
They get to make their decisions based on what they want to make them on what they want to do. What I do know is they didn't take a vote.
What?
This wasn't about the majority,
It's a private entity.
right? This wasn't about the people I work with day to day, because my
It's a
phone
private company.
don't say that. Production people who ain't worked with me in
Ain't
5,
no
6
democracy.
years.
It's a
Thank
dictatorship.
you for how you treated me. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for your professionalism. Thank you for showing up constantly. You know, Monday night. Thank you for always. If we didn't have any talent on a meeting, you were always there. You were always on time. You were always building things for the other people on that set. Thank you. And so when the people you work with cry for you, man, that means the world to me. When I get the messages of
Well,
like
with your
the
bosses,
fact that I
though.
supported you, the fact that I was there for you means the world to you. Like it gave you the legs to stand up and be who you were on TV.
Cozying up
like
to the
that
wrong
matters.
people. What about your
This was
bosses?
a dictatorship.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
person or a group of persons, a very small group, they didn't poll the majority.
Yeah.
They didn't ask that question. Because you asked that question,
He's too much of an
Now
OG to have
you
these
gotta say,
takes.
even though you told me just how important he was,
Like, you know how cold
I
the game
don't
is.
care. I don't care. I know how important you think he is, and you work with him every day. I don't care how important you think he is. I don't like him.
Happens.
People like me don't like him. They keep calling my phone. I don't want my phone to ring no more.
It
Right?
happens.
There's other things I'll defend. I'll defend talking about another executive. I'll defend that. I'll defend sabotage. I'll defend getting sued. I'll defend all those things. What I'm not going to defend is you standing up for Angel Reese and everybody being mad about the way you did it.
Nah,
About what you said about, I'm not going to defend that. No.
nah, that's not really it. Ryan knows. Look, man. For all y'all who don't really know Ryan like that, like he's like I said, he's a great football analyst, but a lot of his other takes, a lot of his racial takes and race baiting, he's very much a race baiter. Even though he's really, really good at football analysis, he should have kept it football. You want to come up there. This is when you start to think you're bigger than the program. You want to come up there and play in these people's face every day. You want to talk white this and white man that white bad this and white bad that. You want to play in these people's face, and I think he was there for about 11, 12 years. First of all, they kept you around for 11 and 12, almost 12 years or so. And it's like you want to play in these people's face every day, like it's all good, like it's all sweet, and you just think they just gonna let you rock. They were just gonna let it rock, let it rock, let it rock. When they hired you, they paid you all this money, they gave you an opportunity. They put food on your table, and you playing in their face. Come on, how long you thought that was gonna last? Like I said, it's not the fact that he got fired. Everybody gets fired. It's the fact that he's an OG. It's like what he's way too experienced and way too much of an OG to have gone through what he went through like this.
I'm not going to defend you standing on 10 toes for them all the time. It's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take those calls. And that was the decision that was made. And I believe that that has a large role in why it was made.
Bro, we know how much you love what you do and how hard you work and how passionate you are. And we've seen numerous occasions where we've had opportunities on this show to make X amount of money, and you help us understand that it's not about the money. It's about the quality of the work that we have to put out and the lives it's going to touch. So we agree with you. It's not.
Okay, Fred, Fred is on the right track. Fred is staying much more balanced than
it's about your job and simply what you love to do. But when you text me, like all the other people you spoke about, I said, man, this man lying. April Fools, it ain't even April. I didn't believe him, but I didn't want to respond that way because it caught me off guard. And I was like, ain't no fucking
everybody gets fired.
Way these people are that stupid to do one of their best, but people like that. And I ain't saying that because we rock.
No, Ryan is good.
But
Ryan is
I
really
just
good
know
at what he
it
does.
is. But even then, I started searching the internet and trying to figure out, like many people might be, like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, is this a Netflix doc situation? Like, what's really going on? Yeah. And we've been hearing reports about, the disagreement with Peter, right? Yeah. They're trying to pit you and Pat against each other. Mm-hmm. And so many other things people are trying to stir up and figure out what's going on. Like Chan said, like they're looking or waiting for a scandal, right? Yeah. But it's simpler than
yeah, maybe.
Than that.
Oh yeah, it's no scandal. Let me be very clear. I love Pat McAfee. I think what Pat McAfee set out to do.
Pat is that dude.
Really
Pat
put in
understand
place
the assignment.
A blueprint for a lot of us. Like, can we do it?
So sorry about the buffering, y'all. We gonna work on that.
And be accepted or received at that level, at that amount of money? Probably not. He's an anomaly in that way. But I respect and admire what he's built.
Nah, the content creators are not an anomaly no more. They're the standard. They're moving towards the standard. And this is a huge reason why, and y'all can look this up yourselves. ESPN had a big merger. That's one of the reasons why they cleared like a bunch of people off to clear up redundancy. And the content creators, they want content creators like Pat McAfee to come with their own followers and audience and brand, and they just add to it. So Pat McAfee is not an anomaly anymore. Like the content, I don't know why a lot of these legacy media dudes is still thinking like content creators is just some blip on the radar. It's like this is an actual thing going forward, and we see it. So Pat ain't no anomaly. He's the standard.
So much. Right. Peter Schrager, like me and Peter don't have an issue, right? I would think if you'd ask him right now, obviously after what went on with us, there's been nobody that's nicer to him. And I do want to address that.
Ryan embarrassed a colleague on air. That's who Peter is.
Going into last season, that was when I met,
which was a huge mistake,
with the executive and say, hey, look, I can only see one reason why you'll have a problem with me, because it's not my work. And I get my schedule. I'm supposed to work Thursday, Friday on Get Up and First Take. I fly in on Wednesday night. That's what my schedule says. So I fly in on Wednesday night. I never get an email. I never get a text message. Normally you get that about the production meeting. I don't get that. So I wake up in the morning and I was like, well, I'm not working. I'm texting, hey, am I off of it? And I cut the TV on and Taylor and Will are on, which, like, I'm happy for them. Them boys worked hard to get that opportunity, right? Go do your thing. But I was upset because, wait, you can't call me and tell me that the schedule's changed? I don't deserve the respect of believing that this is my schedule? And along with some other people, we built Get Up. That junk was dying. Your original idea.
Buffering is so bad. So terrible. So sorry, y'all. So sorry, y'all. Buffering is awful. So bad. Yeah, so like again, it's like he made like a lot of mistakes, man. Like he made like a lot of mistakes with this whole thing. He was way too much of an OG to have made this many mistakes with this whole ESPN thing. Yeah, I gotta fix this buffer.
It didn't work.
Killing me.
So it was Dan and it was Marcus and it was Culture Wednesday with me and Dominique. That's
Buffer, man.
why that show lasted to be what it is that you turned it into
I got a hardwire in.
now. And the people who I built that with, y'all just couldn't call me and just tell me, RC, we made another decision. And I asked, man, and another thing I'm mad at myself, I begged and begged to be back on that show because it meant so much to me that we built it and to be on it.
That's how you know he started making mistakes.
And he just kept telling me, people aren't doing both shows. Dan's doing both shows all the time.
Yeah.
Damian Woody's doing both shows all the time. Peter Schrager's doing both shows all the time.
They was doing what they got to do.
And so I'm already
nice.
feeling something. And you go into that Friday, and Greeny had said, and Peter had exchanged a couple of times that neither one of them ever played. And we're
That was a big mistake.
talking about CeeDee Lamb. And I tried to be very thoughtful in the way I approached it because I wasn't trying to say you don't have an opinion because you didn't play. I was trying to say you have a different opinion.
You're not a player no more,
because you
Ryan.
didn't play.
That was your
And maybe
colleague.
that
That's your new teammate. Peter was your new
Maybe I didn't
teammate.
get that across in the right way, right? I can accept that.
Cool. Okay. You didn't at all.
But then he raises his voice at me. He's like, don't belittle me and this and this. And in the moment, I'm like, I'm on TV. I'm not finna have that back and forth.
You dissed him on air. You embarrassed your teammate on air. He's a man just like
Let
you.
me be calm. Let me de-escalate this. And let me truly explain
bro,
what I
like,
mean.
what
That the
are you talking
in-helmet
to?
perspective is different than the out-of-helmet perspective.
You don't play no more, bro.
And so we get in the break, man, and I walk off, right? Because I'm upset because I'm knowing what's going to happen because he said I belittled him and he raised his voice at me. And he's like celebrating the segment like it's a great segment. But I'm already knowing the person who loves you don't love me, and they make decisions here, and we just had that happen.
Peter playing the game
And
better
while
than
he's
you.
celebrating, I'm just telling
It's Game of
him,
Thrones,
like, man, like, don't effing disrespect me like that. Because I'm knowing what's going to happen. Now, at this point, I'm standing over here.
But you could disrespect
Right? I've
him on
gotten
there.
out of my chair, which is 2 away from him. I'm standing over there. And obviously they recorded and they showed me the video. And I'm talking to people who've been there for 12 years, man. And they like, we thought you were going to get aggressive. What? The person you've been knowing all this time who never did anything, who's never had an altercation here, was going to get aggressive from over there?
You've been playing in their face.
So now you're trying to paint this angry black man trope of me that you know is not true, but I'm starting to feel the narrative.
Was it a trope?
I feel what you're doing. You get me on the phone and people are telling me you gotta work better with people. Work better with who?
Your teammate.
Everybody I work with loves me.
Do they?
Like, real talk. Everybody I work with, they F with me the long way.
He started feeling himself.
Like, I ain't the best teammate. Hell, Jason Kelsey called me just to tell me that.
Wow.
And so I was just seeing the narrative.
There's gonna be people in the workplace, young folks who like you and they rock with you the long way, and the people who don't. This is the workplace. They're never gonna come out. This ain't the Rock. This ain't the Barbie. They're not gonna come out and say, "Oh, I don't like you. I don't rock with you." But you're just gonna know. They're not gonna like really. Hey, we all going to lunch. They're not gonna come. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna speak to certain co-workers outside of the workplace, and you'll know the ones who don't. So this whole everybody loves me is like, yeah, the people who actually rocked with you the long way like you, but you don't think there was people who actually wasn't feeling you? Come on, Ryan.
That was being pushed and seeing the way it was going. And then even that, much like what happened with Outkick with my firing, they leaked that video. And when they showing me this video, it's the video from the control room. So if that's gonna get released, that's somebody that works for us.
Yeah.
Right? You've been here 12 years. You have this incident. I want people to know that about you. I'm getting calls. We got the video. The video's been leaked.
Okay.
We're gonna show this. And honestly,
Buffering, man.
I was trying to keep my job at the time. I should have told him, show it. Show him that he celebrated. Show him that I walked away. Show him that I was a 46-year-old man that said the F word.
Ryan just
From
started making
15
that
feet away from somebody.
You started believing
But me and Peter
believing
talked.
the community.
Me and Peter fixed that.
You
Me
started
and Peter had the conversation. Me and Peter moved on from
working for the community instead
right.
of
And what I wanted to do from him from that point on, because I heard what he said, I never wanted to make him feel that way, whether intentionally or unintentionally. So anything he wanted to do on TV, any point he made, any conversation he wanted to have, I was going to have it with him. I was going to support him. I was going to be a good teammate because that's what I did for everybody else.
big fella. It was a
And
rap.
like that was unfortunate, but that's not why I'm
Schrager started playing
fired.
Game of Thrones at
You're a
that point.
stand-up guy. You've always preached accountability.
Schrager was like,
Looking back over your 11 years at ESPN,
12.
11, 12, is there anything you
12
would do
years.
differently, or do you leave knowing that you were fully yourself, or, you know, what are your thoughts, man?
It's a good question. It depends on when you ask me. You know? Like you asked me,
It's buffering. Oh, it's buffering.
like when I see people in public, like OGs and like aunties and stuff,
You the OG now, bruh.
and they tell me they proud of me, and they proud of like,
Come on, StreamYard. Work with me. Ryan just started making so many mistakes, man. It's like you the OG now. Anybody older than us at 46, they're elders. So it's like now you the OGs. You got to start to set we setting the example for the young people coming behind us. And I don't know what's going on with my connection right now. Is it me? Is it YouTube? What's going on? What's going on? There we go. We're gonna cut it short in a few, y'all, because he about to start crying. Too personal. He started taking work way too personal.
and they proud of like the way I represent the community. Yeah,
Man, that's
I wouldn't change anything.
you supposed to be representing your employer, ESPN, not the
'Cause
community.
that means the world to me.
You had to go home and tell your people that I got
You know,
fired.
or like
You think the community, like, what the community gonna do? They gonna pay? You think
When
the
I go
community gonna
home-
pay your bills? Yeah, we're gonna stop it right there, y'all, because Ryan started crying and whatnot, and yeah, I just wanted to jump on real quick and give my take on this whole Ryan Clark firing. He made a lot of mistakes. I know it's real easy for the community to say, oh, you know, he looked out for us. He looked out for his community. He looked out for black folk and all this. Whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm old enough and smart enough to know that, you know, he should have been looking out for his employee. Go to work. You should have kept it about football. You were a great football analyst, and you should have kept it there. You played in these people's face for as long as you could. You race baited. You race baited, fam. Like, that's the truth. You race baited. And you did that for years. And how long you thought they was going to get away with that? How long you thought you was going to get away with that? How long you thought they was going to let you get away with that? Like, seriously. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, everything is relative. I'm always trying to talk to the young people. Not only am I upset that he did that to Stephen A. Smith, he threw Stephen A. Smith under the bus, but it's like he makes it difficult for younger people coming up behind him or anybody who currently wants the type of look that he got at ESPN/Disney. It's like you make it harder. And it's like you couldn't just go there and just do your job. You know what I'm saying? You went and started to, instead of representing ESPN, you started to represent the community. You got fired. What you think the community? You think the community is gonna pay your bills? You think the community is gonna pay for your kids to go to college? They not, fam. Like, it's all just like, this is one of those classic cases of when keeping it real goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? The community will not save you. The culture right now is trash. It's not even worth it. We at an all-time low. We got things to fix within our community. You over here caping. Like, they hired you. You was there for 12 years. That is a hell of a run. That is a lot of money. And you made it so, like I said, my biggest takeaways in this interview that he had on his podcast was he threw Stephen A. Smith under the bus, which was not a good look. And you just making it hard for people coming up behind you, right? Any of the black folks right now, any of the black folks right now who are in these high places, getting these very high salaries, yelling these analysts, whatever, you got to start thinking about the people coming behind you or the people who want your spot, who want the type of, who want that type of gig. You can't just be thinking about yourself, and you certainly can't be thinking about the community, man. Like, y'all got to stop with this community stuff. It's not doing nothing at this point but getting y'all in trouble and getting y'all fired. Y'all got to chill. Y'all got to chill, man. But yeah, man, I just want to pull up real quick. Like I said, I'm probably going to start doing like these daytime reactions a lot more as time goes on. I'm just kind of feeling things out, getting a feel for things, working out the kinks as far as, these buffering issues. But thanks for pulling up. Thanks for pulling up midday with me. And we'll see you next time.